Hi everyone, Joe Brewer here. I wanted to make this short video to just share with you a bit of context of what's happening right now in Earth Regenerators because it might be a little confusing simply because there's so much going on. You might have seen some recent posts from me about doing a GoFundMe campaign to raise money for the Barichara Ecoversity, and now we're starting a pledge drive to create a founding endowment for the Ecoversity and support the first 2 years of activities. And that includes things like creating an off-grid campus that is net zero water and net zero electricity, and also to catalyze and deepen 3 learning centers. One of them focused on the transformation of local food systems, one of them focused on spreading syntropic agroforestry as a reforestation approach for the territory. And the third is for an independent youth-led media center to document and communicate all that's happening. And so there's a lot to that, as you can imagine, and it's a very complex thing. But that's sitting in the midst of Earth Regenerators having about 20 autonomous independent activities. We have a book club, we have a project incubator, we have bioregional catalysts, we have the Earth Regenerators Fund, which does its own governance. And then we have a lot of other things that are going on here. Learning journeys, conversations that people have in campfires, and carrying the conversation to go deeper into topics. All of that is happening in the online space as more and more Earth Regenerators members are coming to Barichara, Colombia and getting involved in the work here. And now we've recently created a new topic called Barichara to share information about what's happening here with blog posts written by Earth Regenerators members that come here and sharing of content that's being created because there's so much. And what I wanted to invite is the awareness that with all of these changes happening, it can get a little confusing what's going on. And I think this would be a good place to use this video right now to just invite you to say, please, you can reach out directly to me if you have questions, if you're confused about what's going on, if you don't understand different parts of what's happening. Like one thing that's creating some confusion right now is that in the pledge drive for the endowment of the Barichara Ecoversity, where we're creating a regenerative trust, so think of like a financial trust, except here it's being put into service of territorial regeneration of Barichara, Colombia. Then one of the things we're talking about is creating a Barichara token, which some people think of this as being related to cryptocurrency and things like Bitcoin and Ethereum. And others may realize that what we're talking about is a way of organizing ourselves around collective action and the possibility of shared governance. And that is that the Barichara token could become a community currency, an alternative kind of money. Or it could just be a way of helping us organize a fundraising drive for understanding who the founding donors are for the endowment that is the Regenerative Land Trust. That includes the Barichara Ecoversity, supporting these activities that we're starting to really ramp up and take to a whole new level. What's interesting is that the confusion is partly that we don't know what these things are yet because we want to facilitate an emergent process. We want to learn together and create together to figure out what tools we actually need to coordinate, communicate, make decisions, make shared investments. And as we're doing this practice, this sandbox of Barichara, Colombia, we're opening up the possibility to take what we learn and apply it to the Osa Peninsula, where one of our members, Tricia Stapleton, is doing a lot of work that is connected to the bioregional catalysts and to the project incubator, where other Earth Regenerators members have been involved for some time. Similarly, what Benji Ross is doing right now in the Gulf of Maine, working with a guy named Glenn Page and an organization called Cobalt to develop a bioregional weavers guild to figure out how to catalyze and transform bioregions, that's connected to many places around the planet and is connected to what we're doing here in Barichara. And so this confusion comes about in part because we're like the 3 blind men looking at different parts of the elephant and we can't see all of what's happening. And one reason the different elements of what we're doing are coming together is that each of them signifies an important network of relationships to existing and potential collaborators to help us to co-create together at a scale that is unprecedented, to do something at the scale of an entire bioregional territory within a global digital community, Earth Regenerators, so that we can replicate what we're doing from bioregion to bioregion around the world. which is something that's described in my book, The Design Pathway for Regenerating Earth. And so I understand there's a lot of confusion about this, and I just want to use this opportunity to say, I understand. And I'd like to help clarify it. But rather than saying, let's create a simple story that just makes sense to people, let's focus on embracing the complexity, recognizing that this is really hard and that it's new, it's never been done before, and so we shouldn't be surprised that there's some confusion. And at the same time, that we can help each other to understand better by getting involved, by finding the place that we fit into this big, multifaceted process. Maybe it's just holding conversations. Maybe it's being a financial supporter. Maybe it's visiting some of the on-the-ground projects. Maybe it's just bringing your own project and ideas to some place like the Project Incubator to see how it fits in and relates to the other projects. Or maybe it's joining the next learning journey to just have a held and facilitated space for holding conversations over the span of 8 weeks to deepen your relationships and get more familiar with what's happening here. See, there are a lot of ways to be involved, and we'll be sharing more as we move forward. Right now, I just wanted to make this short video to invite you to ask questions, to gather and discuss, to come and speak with me directly, and to just start looking more closely at how your heart relates to what is emerging here and which part or parts you might like to play. So thank you for listening to this video. I'm really looking forward to our conversations, and I hope that you do reach out and that we speak to each other soon.